if you're even thinking about getting into a trade, just quit thinking about it and do it. If it's plumbing, become a plumber. If it's an electrician, become an electrician. If it's masonry, become a mason. But yeah, don't be afraid to become a tradesman. Blue collar is pride.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It maybe wasn't 20 years ago, but it is now. The pay is great.
Mm-hmm.
You have to want to work. You have to be physical. You have to not be afraid to work with your hands, not be afraid to get dirty. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of bonuses to it. I love the trades.
All right. We have Sheldon Ducey here. Welcome to the Vault. We're going to start calling this the Vault now.
The Vault.
I know you've been a proud supporter of the Masons Conversation. So honestly, I couldn't be more happier to have you a part of the show, because now in your truck, you're going to be able to listen to your very own episode. So welcome. Thank you, Sheldon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Sheldon works with TMC Masonry. He's actually among some of our newer employees. And we're so grateful to have you a part of that team.
Almost the newest.
What's that?
Almost the newest.
Almost.
There's one newer guy.
Almost. I know. Yeah. But we're still hiring like crazy. So,
That's wild.
and that's the thing is, I know a lot of people are having challenges with hiring, but with TMC Masonry, I'm sure you understand the culture that we've developed, and that's why we're able to attract these kind of employees. Such as yourself, man. You're a valued bricklayer, and you're well known in this industry. You're very well known in this industry. So
yeah, it's a catchy Instagram, that's for sure. Watch those stories, and you're like, oh, we got to get a bite.
Well, that's a thing, right? We like to make it attractive, and then as soon as the individual gets started, they see it for themselves, right? Yeah. So, dude.
Yeah, I had my couple of Saturdays, and I knew it was just a matter of time for me. Because it's the environment. It's important.
Yeah.
It's gotta be positive. Who wants to go to work and work all day and not want to go to work? It's terrible.
Of course.
No good.
And
it's no good.
We're already passionate about the community that we're a part of when it comes to blue collar.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So if you're already passionate about being a part of that network, that blue collar community, why would you want to go to work unhappy? So that leads me to my next question, though. Okay, actually, my first question. I haven't even asked any questions, but regardless, what does blue collar mean to you?
Blue collar to me is it's pride. It's pride in your work. It's work with your hands, get dirty, go to work, be proud of something, come home. And for me, I got a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old at home, and I want them to know that there's nothing wrong with hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a hard worker my whole life. I'm 45.
You don't look a day over 20.
Thanks. I started some sort of construction right when I was 19, and I never looked back.
Nice.
I've always been proud of it. Yeah,
good.
Landscaping, concrete forming, framing. I've
done it all.
I've dabbled in a lot of stuff, man.
I didn't know that.
Asphalt.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you really got a good taste. You got your toes wet in everything.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I've done a little. I'm no expert in everything, but I've done a little bit of everything, and I love to learn.
Dude, I just thought you were born a bricklayer.
Nope.
I thought you were born with a trowel in your hand and a stability level in the other hand, and that was it.
When you and I first met at that job for that bigger outfit.
Yeah, that was years ago.
I was a first-year apprentice then.
Crazy.
So I was 31 when I got in the trade.
Give me that backstory, because it was your father-in-law,
my wife said,
right?
Yeah, my father-in-law. Herb, he's a German. Old, came up.
Squarehead. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yes, sir.
I'm just kidding.
If he was here, rest his soul, he'd tell you he worked with the Squareheads, and that's he was a good man. Mm-hmm. He was a great bricklayer. Oh man, he was unbelievable. He retired. He was broken down when he was in his 50s, and he had to retire because he had a terribly degenerative disc in his back.
Shit.
So he retired really early, but loved the trade. When I decided to get in the trade, oh man, he was like a kid in a candy store. He was he'd come to my house with his truck with metric modular concrete bricks, and he'd make me after work learn how to build a corner in my garage on the floor. And he'd stand there and he'd no, take it down, and he'd make me rip it all down and start over.
I love
you got to use your level like this. You got to keep your tools clean. You know, he was unbelievably proud of the trade.
I
And
love
he
that.
got into trade when he was like 12 years old, back in the 50s.
So he was your inspiration.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yes.
So how long did that go on for? Like, how long did he make you, work with those concrete bricks and really, get a good understanding of
man,
what
it was-
masonry is about?
It was months, and then we'd do side jobs together all the time. Like that picture you saw of me online with him, that's him and I doing a chimney
Yeah.
together. But he couldn't do the work, right? Like he'd show up and he liked to delegate. He was a
Master delegator.
really good delegator.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went on until he got sick. He got cancer, and
Oh man, I'm sorry to
yeah,
hear
he's
that.
gone. But
Shit.
yeah, his memory lives on every day. It's not a day I don't go to work and think about him.
It's
I do
amazing.
something I do. I wonder, what do you like this? How do you think about this? What do you like this idea? He loved ideas.
Yeah.
If he saw an idea that he never seen before, he'd get real excited.
Was he also like innovative himself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Master MacGyver.
Nice.
MacGyver was his favorite saying. We'll just MacGyver something. Oh yeah, he was quite the guy. He was an amazing bricklayer.
Nice.
I had a side job for my neighbor where we took some old bricks out on the top 3 courses at the base of the wall because it was full of tar from a deck that was attached to the wall, so we wanted to replace them. And when I pulled out, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 bricks, and then I wedged it up with just little uprights, little 2x4s, so nothing would move. And nothing was moving, but I was, like I said, I was brand new to the trade. One of the first side jobs I ever did. I didn't put enough bracing in, and there was 0 ties in this wall, and the whole wall just went, and it shifted. It step cracked all the way to the soffit, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I didn't have a clue what to do.
You opened up a can
Like
of
this
worms.
whole wall's got to come down now because I was an idiot and I didn't know
What
what the heck I was
happened?
doing. I called him up and he goes, "Bah, don't touch nothing. I've been here in a few minutes." He was just getting out of the shower. He ran over. He goes, "Take it all down." And I'm like, "Take it all down?" I'm like, "There's like 600 bricks in this wall." He's like, "Take it all down." So we pulled the wall down on the ground and I cleaned every brick by hand. This started at, we'll say 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. By 6:15, he had the entire wall back up.
Come on.
And it was
That's impressive.
wild.
That's
It was
impressive.
wild. And no,
Dude, that's crazy.
I was shitting my pants.
What the hell did the client did the client
was
say
the-
we didn't ask you to do the whole wall?
No, well, they weren't even home, but it was a neighbor of mine, like more like kind of sort
Got
of a
it.
buddy of mine, right?
Got it.
So he didn't even know what had happened. Like, so because we couldn't match the brick, because you never could, especially this house was pretty old, and I had a brick that was like close because we only needed to take it like
It's like a frog
30
brick.
or so. It was an old solid
Yeah.
frog brick. And so when we tore it all down, then we mixed everything, of course, put it all back, mixed the new with the old, and it looked
So it
like it looked perfect.
Yeah, it
It's
blended
like
well.
it was almost like a blessing in disguise. He's like, "Yeah, this brick was gonna look shit down here anyways. It's
Yeah.
better you just tore it all down and started." I'm like, "You're crazy," but in the end, he never missed a beat.
Hey,
Just came, tear
that
it down.
learned you
I
well.
cleaned and labored for him, and
Yeah.
he put it all back up. And I would even when I talk about it now, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how he
That's
did it
crazy.
so quick. And it was fast, like
Yeah.
just fast. Maybe picked up his level 3 times. Like,
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But obviously seasoned, experienced. Like how
Yeah.
long? When did he start?
when he was like 13, with his
That's
dad.
what I mean.
Yeah. And his dad was a mason, and I'm pretty sure his dad was a mason. Like, masonry is the
Yeah.
oldest trade.
So
on the
he would
planet.
like this is generations.
Oh yeah, he'd come from at least two generations. of
Holy
masons.
shit.
Yeah.
So he was it was inevitable. He was
Mhm.
born to be a bricklayer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he was quite the guy.
So you labored for him for like that's kind of how you got the ball rolling?
No, I was so I had been working concrete, and the company I was working for got really slow, laid me off, and I'd never been laid off in my life. I was like, I can't be laid off. I gotta go find another job. And things were kind of slow, and he said, "You should just we should go talk to my buddy and get you into masonry." And I was like, and I'd labored when I first come to Ontario for a Portuguese guy out here in Sheffield years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had an eye for, because I was always had in the back of my mind that I'd like to try it. Even when I labored, I laid a couple of bricks way back in the day, and I liked it. And I was like, you know what, that's a pretty good idea. And then I thought I was too old to get in the trade. And I mean, that evaporated pretty quickly. And I think I want to say I was 31 when I did a pre-apprenticeship at OMTC.
Oh, no way. You went to OMTC too?
First year.
Okay, first year, yeah.
And then I did the rest of my apprenticeship at Conestoga.
Excellent.
But yeah. So that's where I got that idea. He decided that, yeah, you should be a mason because Herb had one son, my brother-in-law, and he's a real estate agent.
So he wanted that to live on.
Yeah.
You're carrying that on.
Carrying something.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's it's just a great trade, man. It really is. I mean, it's
visually appealing, man. Really that's what I think.
Yeah.
Because do we see what's behind the wall?
No.
Like, kudos to all those trades. Nothing against them, but like, what's the first thing you see when you go to any structure, any project, any house? Like, what is it that you see?
Exactly. The outside, the masonry, the building, the envelope.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, I've always had an eye for it too. I've always had that artistic side of me. I used to draw a lot, sketch, paint, stuff like that. And that's why when I first got introduced to this trade, that creative side of me came out and was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Yeah. Like, it's art. We're literally dressing up. So the building envelope is our canvas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And our brush and our palette is a trowel, a mortarboard, and our colors are the bricks and the products that we get to throw on the wall. Whether it's stone, block, brick, doesn't matter. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, me too. I like to work on my hands. I love tools. I love to just be busy. I love to be physical.
The grit, the grind, working in the weather, the conditions. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
That's great.
So you said you're from Newfoundland.
I am.
And how long have you been here in Ontario?
I came to Ontario on the 9th of June in 1999.
Wow.
And never looked back.
Attaboy. Yeah. I don't really hear that accent too much.
Hey
there, bye.
How you getting on?
How you getting on? Down by the rock, hey there, bye. I talk to me, mutter there, me brother, and
that's great.
That's awesome.
No, there's no work in Newfoundland.
No work.
There wasn't.
No work. I've been out east, but not in Newfoundland.
Place.
Yeah.
Beautiful place, but very expensive to live.
Is it?
It's terrible. It's brutal.
I didn't think it was expensive out there.
Yeah, there's no natural gas like there is here.
Okay.
It's oil heater, electric heat.
Yeah, to service the residents.
Is triple what hydro costs here.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's brutal. But it's a great place. But I mean,
do you go back and visit?
I'm going in May, actually.
Oh, excellent. But I don't. Does your boss know?
He knows now. He knows,
you fucker. That's awesome. No, of course. That's cool, man. It's good to go back to your roots, bro. Yeah. Like, that's what I think. I'm a firm believer on that. And I know my parents, like, they come from Portugal, and my mom's hasn't been back. I push her to go back. So many years has not been back.
Holy cow.
So, and I felt amazing when I went, and I wasn't even born there, but it's the roots, right?
Sure,
it's that the family heritage.
I'm getting, now it's getting a little bit closer. I mean, I think it's like a month and a half away till we go, and I'm getting pretty excited.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited for my kids. My daughter's never been. My son was. We had my son in Newfoundland. He was too young to remember. He was like not even a year old, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my wife really loves it there. She's gonna go there and want to move there. She did this last time I took her there.
She's gonna want to move there. Is that what you said? Yeah. Sorry, you're not taking Sheldon though. He's staying here. Okay. I'll have a nice spot for you too. You can stay right here with us. Okay. You can stay right in the studio if you want. Yeah. We'll set you up right here on this couch.
Sweet little couch.
You think you can fit on there? Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
To touch on, you mentioning that you like to work with your hands, and I know you've obviously dipped your toes in many different trades and areas of construction. What do you think about how that, like what working with your hands and the physical challenges, what do you think that does to your body? Like, are there ways that we can prevent injuries? Because you mentioned that your father-in-law was broken. So what can we do to help masons from becoming broken?
It's pretty simple. Just take care of your body.
And I know you're really good at that.
Stretch. I haven't always been.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Well, I seen your picture.
It's been 2 years.
We talked about that in our little preliminary conversation, and you were, you were a bigger boy.
Very
Let's
big.
just say.
Very
Like, how
large.
much did you weigh?
At my heaviest, 285.
Dude, you look great, man.
I'm rocking 195 right now.
That's discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's important. I mean, it's taken me, like I said, I'm 45. I smartened up when my back got really bad. My back was terrible. I was off work for 4 months, and then I went back for 10 days. I think I lasted, and then I was off again for another 4.5 months because of two things. I had 2 bull's discs in my lower back, and I was terribly overweight. And I never acted for 1 minute like it was 90% work related and 10% weight related. It was more of a 50-50. And if I'm being really honest, it was 60-40, 60 in favor of you being overweight and not taking care of yourself. It's important, man, especially as you get older.
So what do you
100%.
do? Like, you know, walk me through what like a morning or after work would look like for you.
It's pretty boring.
Is it?
Well, no,
I mean,
really.
like,
Not
because
really.
I know you like to work out.
it's a
and you're
discipline.
saying
I
you
work
stretch and stuff. So
Yeah.
what do you do before work? Like, how do you get your body prepared to take on the physical challenges that we do at work?
So for the last 1.5 years, 2 years since I decided to get myself in better shape, I actually didn't do anything in the morning, anything different than just getting up and going to work, stretch a little bit, and just go to work. I always worked out in the evening. But for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been starting my day with my workout at 4:30 in the morning, and it's the greatest thing I've ever done. It's a game changer.
Because then your
It's the best
body's-
way to start your
You're
day.
juiced up. Your body, your muscles are warm. You're not
100%.
You're not doing physical activity with cold muscles. That's how you get injured.
And I knew that for the last 2 years.
And everybody knows that too,
I
Sheldon.
just didn't want to do it. Why
Yeah.
do I want to get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym when I can just go to the gym in the evening? And that's what I did for 2 years. And it worked and it was great. But now that I'm up and I'm in the gym at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I go to work and I come home and you got the whole night. You got the night with your kids, you got the night with your family, you got
Get
the
it
night to
done.
work with some tools in the garage, go drag some logs out of the bush on a Friday after work, you know? But yeah, like you said, it's you got to take care of your body. It's just there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and you can be.
You're
well, I
prime
can't-
example of this, dude.
You can't.
Like,
I
you
can't
are-
speak for anybody older than me, but I'm 45 and I feel like I'm 25. Honest to God, I do, and I
love
eat
that.
properly. That's the biggest. That is the
What you
key.
put in, man.
That
Isn't
is
that like
the key.
80 fucking % of it?
Yeah,
Is what you put in your mouth.
80%, 100. It's 80%.
The results will show.
Yeah.
The results will show.
80%.
You put shit in, you get shit out.
100%. 100%. You cannot, there's no way to out train a bad diet. You can't do it. You can't. Everybody, like you've heard it in construction. Oh, I work out when I go to work. Sure, you do. Our trade is very physical. The laboring side of it's more physical than the bricklayer side of it. It is. But I'm an example of, I did this job. I've worked construction my entire life, and I spent 20 years of that overweight, 15 at least.
So you got to do the work.
So
you
you
can't
got to do
yeah,
the work.
You can't just go to work and think.
Yeah, you got to move.
Plus,
gotta
you're not
move your
working
body.
out your body symmetrically at work.
Yeah.
Fucking doing some weird
My
movements at
program
work.
in the gym changes every 4 weeks.
That's
Why does it
amazing.
change every 4 weeks? Because your body gets used to it.
Okay.
And then the results slow. That's what my coach.
So you
that's-
trick it.
Yeah. So you got to switch it up.
Cool.
Yeah. Every 4 to 6 weeks, my program changes.
That's amazing.
And yeah, like you said, it's diet, it's consistency. I think I'm in the gym 5 days a week, sometimes 6, but never less. Never less. And yeah, stretching is unbelievably important. I don't do it very often, but
I'm trying.
I
to
do
get
in the
better.
morning.
I'm trying to get.
I
better.
have to in the morning.
You just have to be careful. So I've, and I'm sure you know this, but I did some serious soft tissue tear in between my ribs because I was stretching. But what's the term? When you stretch and you hold that stretch, is that static stretching where you hold it? So you cannot hold stretches for long periods of time if you haven't warmed up your muscles. You can't stretch cold muscles because that's what causes injury.
Yeah.
So you have to get the body moving first, jumping jacks, push-ups, lunges or burpees or whatever, get the body moving. So that's why they say it's always important. After a workout, that's when you do that type of stretching.
Yeah.
So that's why you work out in the morning. I work out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get much better at it. After my workout, I take, at least 20 to 30 minutes of my time to do proper stretching of my entire body.
Yeah.
Because then I'm loosey, I'm goosey, I feel good, like post-workout, I go to work and I feel fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like next level.
Yeah, I move. I start a little slow, arm circles, or move your neck a little bit.
That's right.
Stretch your legs a little bit, run on the spot.
Yep.
I've actually taken my routine mostly from what my son does at kickboxing, how they warm up. It's great. It's like a 15, 20-minute routine. And I only started that when I started going to the gym in the morning last few weeks. But I never stretch at the end of my workouts, and it's terrible, and I know that.
Yeah.
Because and now in the morning I have time, so I'm going to start it this week maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, because I'm always
take advantage of it.
45 minutes early.
We can have a conversation about this after, but
sure.
just tell me the difference, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to notice a difference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you guys are a rather holistic family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your wife actually runs a holistic store in Woodstock. What's it called?
Waterloo.
Or, sorry, in Waterloo.
Yeah,
My apologies.
it's called Holistic Nutrition.
Nice.
So they sell supplements and natural hair.
Kind of like Fiddleheads? But better.
I've never been to Fiddleheads. I've never been inside of Fiddleheads. I've never been in a health food store other than Holistic Nutrition.
Yeah. You got to support your wife, man.
Yeah. So it's all, like I said, it's supplements, hair, like health, like body products, like natural toothpaste.
I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's a great little spot.
I got you. We had a great conversation about magnesium.
Magnesium.
And you sent me some good stuff, man.
Everybody's deficient in magnesium. Yeah.
So
that's this is me listening to my wife talk, obviously. I don't know a ton about it. I just take what she tells me to take, and
she's the professional, right?
She is the professional.
So of course you're gonna take it from her.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna take it from somebody who's eating McDonald's every second day of the week and telling you need your magnesium. You're not really gonna and it's just like, you hiring a personal trainer and they're huge and they're fat and they're obese. Like, what are you going to take from that?
Kind of a conflict of interest.
Exactly. So, but touching on obviously the physical aspects of our trade and what we do, there also is equipment that we can incorporate to make things easier. Yeah. And I realized that when I started working for the larger outfits who do a lot of ICI, industrial, commercial, and institutional work, and that was hydraulic elevated working platforms. That eliminates a shit ton of physical challenges when it comes to erecting scaffold, conventional scaffold.
Yeah.
So, and I know you're familiar with these units.
Yep. Love them. Climbers are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember the first time I was ever on one, and
how was that?
I've never been afraid of heights in my life, but I wasn't too fussy.
Yeah.
We were in I think it was a blind school in Brantford. And this thing, I don't know what the specs are on these things. You'd know better. But this thing was a 60-foot high climber. It was tied in at 50 feet.
Oh, they actually did tie it in.
That's all. That's
you go
what
75 feet.
That's what I know. That must be new, because when I was with
it depends. Sorry to cut you off, but it depends if it was climber light or the climber KP8, which is their large units.
Oh, this would be the larger units. I don't think. I mean, they definitely had climber lights, but I was always on like large projects.
Yeah, the KP8s. Those are the big boys
together. But like 4 tower here, and then they're max out. So the first climber I was ever on, they put me out on the very end where it's like,
take some gravel.
Am I on a climber or are we on the ocean here? What's going on? Like, this thing moves like crazy. Like, you're all of a sudden you're here on the wall, and now the wall's like 2 feet away from me.
Is the wall moving?
I didn't like it at first. I didn't like how it moved around, but it was kind of like being on a swing stage for the first time. But I mean, once you get used to it, they're the best, dude. You're always at a perfect height.
Yeah,
you can't beat it.
Absolutely
amazing.
Like, you should never see a bricklayer with their trowel going up like this to spread mortar on a wall.
No.
That's the beauty of these units. And that's what I'm talking about, is like innovative things like this to make our jobs easier.
Yeah.
So you've seen that we went to the expo. You've seen the exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of these before?
I've seen them. I've never
tried one on or anything?
No.
So have you ever seen them like being used on a job site, or just like...
Not on a job site, just like at the expo or
same.
on a... Yeah.
So I haven't really seen them being implemented.
You tried one, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was cool, but again, it's more so for overhead work.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be great, for instance, when you are lifting a heavier product and you are working on conventional scaffold and you have to lift up,
Mm-hmm.
because there's tension that's under your elbows that wants to push your arms up.
Yeah.
There's like these, it's like, it feels spring loaded, and it just assists you. That's what that does. But so Fracco also made an exoskeleton, but apparently that one's way more intense than the Hilti one. Like, it's like,
But how does it feel having this thing like strapped to you? Like,
so
it
here's the thing.
It looks so awkward to me.
it did feel different, and being in a tighter location, I'm sure it would maybe get caught on a brace or something like that.
I don't
But
even
on a
like to have
climber, it would make sense. But why the hell do you need it on a climber? Because you could just turn on the engine and go up a little bit, and you're at that right height, right? So I don't see it really being used for us, to be honest. I don't. The Fracco one, apparently it assists you in every motion. So maybe that one would be better for like laying 12-inch block, 10-inch block. I don't know. We're going to get one. We got to try it out.
Are you serious?
I want to try it out. I'll promote it.
So many things that we have in our trade to make our job easier. I think we just need to just do what we can with our own two hands.
Well, and that's another thing is too, like,
I don't even like to wear
trade?
a belt on my, or a hammer clip on my belt.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm wearing that thing. There's no chance.
And why are we in this trade? Because we do I love the physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, I know we're young still. Like, I am young, and I still consider young.
Age is a number.
Exactly. See, you feel 20, but again, how can we make things easier for us?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start with our health first.
Yeah.
Right? Before we even implement exoskeletons, why don't we start with the health?
Yeah.
What we eat, what we do after work, working out, training, getting into some sort of sport or physical activity after work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys train, right? Muay Thai? Like, your whole family?
Well, my son and my daughter do.
Okay, I love that, man. Your daughter's savage, bro. She scares me. How old is
She's
she?
gonna be a little killer. She's gonna be 10 in
Dude.
May. Yeah.
Like, I'd be scared to meet her. I'd be
she's a
scared to
little
shake her
savage.
hand. I feel like she's got like some hidden superpowers or something.
She's a sweet little girl. Just
crazy.
don't piss her
You
off.
just don't piss her off. I seen the videos, man. That's
she's great.
intense.
They're great.
Intense.
They're a great little team. My
That's
son and my
awesome.
daughter, they love each other.
And I feel like, for most children, they look up to their parents, right?
Yeah.
You are their mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So especially to go through the physical changes that you went through with your body, your appearance, your health, they look at that.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
because, dude, you know the numbers when it comes to obese children, right? Especially in the Western world here. It's crazy. So for you to be an example, to set an example like that for your kids is fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
kudos to you,
that.
man.
Thank
I have
you.
a lot of respect for you for
Thanks.
that, because most of these obese children, why do you think they're obese?
Because they eat out of a box.
And who's,
They eat out of a box.
and why? Because they're seeing the way their parents are also consuming these processed foods and things like that, right?
60% of people don't even know what protein is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what it is.
It's crazy.
My wife's has had people ask her,
I can imagine.
what is protein? What do I need to eat to get protein? What are carbohydrates?
That's
And that's
crazy.
to no fault of their own.
That's right.
To a certain extent, it's the society we live in.
Yep.
Look at the GMO foods in European countries. A lot of European countries, they're illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Russia, genetically modified food, you make it there, you're considered a terrorist.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Is that for real though?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, Putin.
Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe not something to model ourselves after, but
No,
yeah,
but still, he's doing it for a reason.
there's there's so many kids that are overweight. It's terrible.
It's sad.
It's you never seen that.
No.
That didn't exist when I was a kid.
No,
It just didn't.
no. The numbers are just getting higher and higher.
But nobody goes outside anymore.
I know. Trust me, I know.
We've had neighbors, friends in our neighborhood say, "Your kids are always outside." Like they're always outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
because outside is good for you.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Everybody should go outside.
Yeah. Get away from the tablets, get away from the screens.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. Like, listen, my son loves to game. I know your son games as
My
well.
son does too.
But regardless, okay, they can have their gaming time, but go outside, adventure, go to the river. Like, my son loves going to the river, loves fishing, loves catching crayfish and shit like that. And we just go hiking. You know, like I introduce him to snowboarding. I introduce him to all these things, swimming. Like we have the pool here, so it's staying active.
You can play video games. I never played video games in my life.
Yeah, neither did I.
I just was never interested in them. I was interested in rabbit hunting and ice fishing and whatever, like hunting.
The outdoors.
The outdoors that's where I need to be. I'm always outside.
Dude,
I'm never inside. I go inside to sleep.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
I love that.
Yeah, we camp. My family and I, we have a trailer. We're never home in the summertime.
Good.
Nobody's ever inside.
I love that.
And Ben's in the gym like 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. The kid's nuts. It's good. It's great. Every kid.
He has you to look up to, man, and that's why your kids are the way that they are.
Yeah,
it's because of
you have to be an example for
that's
your
right.
kids. That's your job.
Yep.
That's your job. You put kids in the world. It's your job to create a good example for them. My wife is the 90% example for my kids. I'm not taking away from what I did for myself and to show my kids, to teach them where to go or what's a good idea. There is
Mama has a big role to play.
But my wife is the foundation of our family.
Love it.
And that's almost non-existent nowadays.
Yeah. You need a good foundation, man.
Yeah.
Just like any house, you need a good foundation or what happens to that house?
She's going to go down.
Exactly. Crumble. So same with family. Foundation's everything. So you mentioned you went to OMTC.
I did.
Dude.
I did a pre-apprenticeship there.
I thought you were just straight Conestoga. I didn't even know you went to OMTC.
I went there.
We got a lot of our guys that went there then.
Yeah, so I went there when I worked for GA. They sent me there because they're, those big companies are affiliated with the school.
Of course.
And that's where I started. I went there. I did my first. So pre-apprenticeship is first year.
Got it.
They stretch it out over. It was long. I want to say it was March. I think it was like 5 months.
How many years ago was this though? This was
14 years ago for me.
So the Conestoga School of Trades, the Masonry program, that wasn't even there yet, was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was in the one in Waterloo at University and Weber.
That's right. 14 years ago.
Yeah, that was there.
But
now Conestoga has. Now, I don't know if their school... No, they still have the masonry up in Waterloo because now Conestoga just built a giant trades building out by the 401.
Yeah, but the masonry program
stayed... I think it stayed in Waterloo where it is, yeah.
Because they have it's a whole facility.
Yeah, the whole shop. They have a giant building just like strictly for masonry right beside the roof.
That's right. I know Kapler had a big part in that.
Yeah.
Because I did a home build program on my 12th grade. Sorry, 12th grade or 11th grade? I forget now. So many years ago. But I did a home build program and they took us to the masonry.
Oh, nice.
The masonry facility there at Conestoga in Waterloo. But it was still under construction when we went there. And I met the owner of Kapler and I didn't even think about, becoming a part of the masonry industry at that point. It's funny how everything kind of circled around.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, no, that's awesome that you went to school. And what are your thoughts on if there's some new blood coming into this industry, masonry specifically, would you promote school?
100%.
Why?
To learn, to be able to take your time and learn to trade, learn little tricks that you're not going to learn on site.
Okay.
Learn how to use your trowel, learn how to, when I went to school, I had to learn how to spread mortar. They did that in a pre-apprenticeship for a week. 2 days in, I was like, "Oh my god, this is wild! There's no way I can spread mortar for a week.
Just spreading mortar,
nuts. Yeah,
just spreading
mortar on an 8 block long wall that's already there. You just literally, they call it dropping mortar, slicing mortar.
Okay,
and I think there was one more. I don't remember, but I remember having a little bit of a bad attitude about it because I'm like, this is monotonous. Like, okay, here we go. I can spread mortar now.
Did you enjoy ever going to school or?
I didn't mind it.
Like just school in general.
For me, I didn't like school.
Yeah.
I did my apprenticeship because it was a means to an end. I did my Red Seal. I think I scored like 77 or something. It was like a 4-hour test and I needed 3 hours and 58 minutes. I'm not a school guy.
Yeah.
But there is a benefit to it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a benefit to it. If you can get your Red Seal, you need it to work anywhere outside of Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
You need it to be recognized as a journeyman mason anywhere in Canada. I think it's North America actually. It gives you. If I could be wrong on it.
I'm pretty sure too. Red Seal is all outside of It's Canada.
It's Canada.
It's Canada.
I want to say it's the States too, but I may be wrong on that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to go somewhere else to work, it's always good to have. I did it. I did it at 31 years old. I started.
That's amazing.
And I did it over 3 years. I think I did second and third year in the same year. Pretty sure.
Nice. Because you can accelerate it a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, it depends on your hours, right?
That's right.
And my hours as an apprentice, they added up real fast, real quick.
Good.
And yeah, there's nothing wrong with school. If you want to get into a trade and you've never been in the field and you want to decide to try masonry, you can do it.
That's that's a great way to get a taste.
Pre-apprenticeship
right?
is a great way to do it because, like I said, it's first year. I think the levels are 12 weeks or 10 weeks.
Okay.
And then they take that first level and they stretch it out. So it's a longer period of time. So you can take your time, learn how to use the tools and stuff. I didn't need to do first year because I had 15 years of construction experience prior to deciding to become a mason. But it was good. The worst part about it for me was driving to Mississauga and back every day.
That's it.
And I'd have to leave that 3 to 5 minutes early every day just to get that right spot on the 401 to get home at a decent time. Otherwise, it was an hour and 45 minutes to get home. But yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. It was great. I like to learn.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing, like you mentioned, you like working with your hands, and going to school for a trade is not just textbook the entire time. It's not like you're going to, university or college and your nose is in books on PowerPoints on a screen. Like, yes, you're in the books, but you're also working with your hands. It's a whole different look on school.
You're learning refractory. They've like the apprenticeship touches a little bit on everything. Now, I think now they're even into like stick on veneers and stuff. They didn't have that when I went to trade school.
I seen somebody shared that on their Instagram. Yeah.
But you gotta go to school. I think you gotta go to school to get into the trade. Why not get your Red Seal and have that just to be able to say that you did do it.
Of course.
You're gonna get 90% of your experience in the field. And in our trade, it's gotta be at least 60-70% of the school is in the shop working with your hands anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I promote it. If my kids want to get into it, they're definitely going to go to school.
And I'm going to, as an owner of a company, a masonry company, I want to promote it as well because I'm a firm believer on knowledge is power. I don't give a shit if you're learning to cook, to cut hair, to lay bricks, to be a framer, to be a plumber, to be an electrician. The list goes on. I don't care what it is. Knowledge is power. You have a passion for something. For instance, masonry, why not try and figure out everything about it, whether it's refractory, restoration, new construction, it doesn't matter. Why not try and figure out everything? So I ended up getting the textbook that you guys would have gotten.
Yeah, I still have
and I've read through it because here's the thing. I wouldn't have ever known what the hell a grapevine joiner is until I open up the book and realize all the different types of mortar. I'm like, what the hell? Type O? I thought it was just like, I thought it was just type N, type S, grout. See ya. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Restoration mixes.
But knowledge is power.
Yeah. There's so many different things in that I use that book as a reference all the time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great little, but mine's actually pretty beat up because for a while I used to carry it around in my truck.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That just goes to show the type of person you are though. And you want to, your brain is a muscle. You work out everything on your body, but this is also a muscle. So why not engage?
I love to learn. I can learn something new every day. I'm not afraid to ask the guy that's beside me on the wall, hey, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Hey, show me how you did that.
You have to be open.
I'll always, the day that I stop learning, that's the day that I won't be an apprentice anymore. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it. You
Yeah.
always have to be open to learn. And I love to learn.
Yeah.
I love to learn little tricks. I love to learn other guys' different ways to do things. If I can show somebody a way that I would do something that benefits them to help their day go by a little easier, then that works. That's great too. That's what trades are about.
I love your character. I love your personality, dude. You're such an example even to people who would be listening or watching this episode, man, is because our thing here with the Masons Conversations, with this studio, the vault, is us being able to help push more of the younger demographic into a trade, whether it's masonry or framing or plumbing, whatever it is. Just give them a little bit of a friendly push into the trades and make them understand that it's not what other people make it out to be. Like, this is a very rewarding industry.
It is. Trades are great.
Very.
Dirty hands, clean money.
Dirty hands, clean money.
There it is. It's
Shout
my
out
favorite.
to I think it's Troll
Yeah,
Clothing.
Troll
Yeah.
Clothing. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I see that all over my
Me too.
Instagram.
Yeah. I love it.
And you know, your character, as I mentioned, I appreciate so much. And you vibe very well with the team, and you do well in team settings.
Yeah. I like it.
What are your thoughts on culture when it comes to companies developing a culture?
Well, you should. I mean, like a good team, everybody working together, wanting to be around each other. That's obviously that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you, why would you want to go work with a bunch of guys that you don't get along with? Like, this little operation here is perfect. Like, I've worked with groups of guys, large groups of guys. There's 10, 15 guys within this bigger outfit that we both work for at one time. And if you get to go work with 5 or 6 of these guys, you're excited because they're good guys. They're happy all the time. They like the work. They like to have fun while they work and still get the job done. It's amazing. And that's the family culture of any trade. If you should want to have that in your trade.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's sad. Some don't, man.
they don't.
Some don't. There is no culture.
Most people look at work like it's just a job.
That's it. Paycheck.
And a job is not just a job to me. I need to want, my life is important. I don't like to not be looking forward to something. You have to want to, if you're waking up in the morning, you don't want to go to work. Like, there's people that do that their entire career.
Sad.
I just won't do it.
That's sad, man.
That's terrible.
That's so sad. Like, and I like how you said that. Like, you want to be excited, right? Like,
Yeah.
So for instance, you're leaving to Newfoundland in May. You're excited. You're looking forward to it. So it's that exact same feeling and emotion transferred into the workplace, going to
I get that every
your
time
job.
we go to a different job site.
I love that.
If you send me a text tomorrow night saying that I'm going to go to whatever new site that I haven't been to, I'm not going to sleep that night. Because I'm like so fucking pumped.
It's like
to go
vacation.
start something new. I'm like, my wife's like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you sleeping? I'm like, no, I'm going to a new job. Now she's even asked, she goes, you're going to a new job tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like
Like
a
a little giddy kid, man, in a
That's
candy
great. I
store.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I miss the bigger jobs. Like I worked for a smaller company for just over a year there.
Yeah.
Just tiny little jobs like vehicle impacts and
Like
and it was
insurance
fun.
jobs?
A lot of little insurance jobs. Some bigger stuff. We did some elevator shafts and some some little like 3-unit strip malls and stuff like that. But yeah, mostly small little projects. 2 days here, 3 days there. A lot of driving around, set up, which was fine. I didn't mind doing that either. But I just missed the bigger projects.
Yeah.
The bigger walls, the longer walls, 5, 6 guys on a wall busting each other's balls.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I got Steve the last couple of days asked me if I'm going to come out of that big corner that I was wrapping to keep him and Johnny going for the last 2 days. Like,
I love that. Steve warmed right up.
Steve's
man.
the new guy.
Yeah, he's
He
the new face.
Yeah. That's great, man. I love it. Everybody likes to have a bit of fun and still get the job done.
That's important. I'm all about fun, man. You know me.
Places where you couldn't have fun. I've had foremans go, no laughing.
Yeah.
Give me no laughing. Get out of here.
That's crazy. That's nonsense.
Bury yourself in your shack, you moron.
Dude, what's the most bizarre or craziest thing you've ever experienced on any job site? And this could be even with other trades that you worked with before.
For me, the most bizarre thing was a pigeon. Oh, I don't know if we're supposed to tell this story on this podcast.
You better.
I'm gonna
You
do it
started,
anyways.
you
I don't give
better.
a shit. So we're on a climber in a building in Waterloo, and there was pigeons in the scuppers, and these motherfuckers are dive bombing the shit out of us all day. Oh yeah, and because I don't know if they had eggs. They were way back in the Actually, sorry, they were in a vent, and they were way back, so you couldn't even see if they were nests or whatever they were doing. But they just kept coming out all day, every time the climber went up. And,
Dive bomb.
and the one guy that was there, I will say his name, but he was terrified of birds. This guy looked like had
That would have been me.
phobia of birds. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's gonna jump off the climber. So this thing come out of the vent, and I said to one of the guys beside me, I was like, this thing flies in my face again. I'm gonna kill it with my trowel. And I swung my trowel at this thing, and I fucking nailed it. I didn't even I just said
I'm
it.
sorry, animal
and 40
lovers.
seconds later, I destroyed this thing with the edge of my trowel. It just down on the ground. I was like, I wasn't even serious. But here he goes. But there was still like 6, 7 more. It was wild. Yeah, that's the most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me.
Dude, that's crazy.
Job, it was wild.
You literally
And then
topped
everybody-
everybody's story, man.
Oh yeah, the guys I was with was like, this guy's a fucking pigeon killer.
Oh God, that's
Yeah.
great, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'm never gonna forget that.
Now
And you know what?
Now we're gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna now we're gonna get canceled. But I'm gonna make sure whenever we're in a scenario like that again, I'm gonna make sure somebody takes the trowel away from you. We can't be doing that shit, okay? I don't want you hunting no pigeons on my climbers. If you could be around, or if you could work alongside any historical figure, anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
My
and-
wife's dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And what advice would you ask him for?
Well,
Whether
where
it's
do you
life
start?
advice or even work advice.
Oh man, you didn't have to ask Herb for advice. He was such a wealth of knowledge. His advice just flowed all the time. It was great.
Okay. Yeah.
Always. He was always there with advice. But he didn't. His career was over before, like when mine was starting in the trade.
Got it.
Because like I said, he'd already retired from the trade. But yeah, like I said, I'd do side jobs. He'd go get all my material, bring it to the job, set it up for me, and then come and tell me how to do the job. Right? It was great. Sometimes that annoyed the shit out of me when he
Yeah.
was around, but now he's not around anymore. And I just wish that he was here
Mm-hmm.
and he could see where I've gone, where my family's
Yeah.
gone. He'd be so proud. He's
I
a
think
great,
so.
Oh, yeah,
I think you're 100%.
100%.
You definitely got a very special place in your heart for him.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell. And I know he's impacted you
Oh,
and your life.
Every day.
And your
Every day.
life.
He still does. He
Yeah.
does every day.
Just like you said, everything you do, you think of like, what would Herb think of
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
Like look at,
This, he would have loved this.
yeah.
He would
would-
have loved this. If he was alive,
God rest his
there
soul,
is
man.
no chance on this earth that I would come here today without him.
Yeah.
No way.
I would have loved that.
Oh, it would have been so
You know
amazing.
what, Sheldon? In some afterlife, I'm going to create another podcast. Herb will be there. You'll be there. We'll have Eddie there. It'll be the same setup, but we're going to have Herb there with us.
Yeah,
Okay?
great.
You can count on that. So if you could be anywhere on this planet, if you could teleport anywhere on this planet right now, where would it be and what would you do?
I'd say Newfoundland, but I'm going there. So
Yeah, no. Pick another place. Anywhere.
I'd have to say Ireland or Alaska.
Oh,
Those are two places my
Okay.
wife and I got really.
and what the hell
really
would you
wanna
do in
go.
Alaska?
I'd live in Alaska in a heartbeat.
Yeah?
100%.
Like those guys on the
Alaska
Discovery
should be part
Channel?
of Canada, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
No, we've always had a
The Great
we've always had
Frontier.
yeah, we've always had a draw there. My wife, we want to go there. We're going to go there one day,
Mhm.
100%. When the kids are older and maybe on their own, if they ever do that. Kids don't do that anymore, apparently.
They don't leave the nest like they used to, eh?
You kick them out. Just like
I
they
don't care
kick
if you
the
can
birds
fly
out
or
of the
not.
tree.
Get the fuck out. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and Ireland is, Ireland's a lot like Newfoundland. I hear
A lot of
just
stone.
rugged terrain and old masonry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
Yeah.
I love old masonry structures. Like
D-
you guys were
dude,
talking on,
yeah.
which was it with T-Shawn? You guys were talking about the old
Yeah,
the old structures.
we talked about it with him. Yeah,
Like-
they just have a story to tell, a very different story.
And thousands of years old. Like,
Dude, the hands that put those structures up.
actually,
And they're so much more complex than what we're doing.
There's a really cool place on my buddy's farm, actually, where I was showing you the pictures where I was getting the firewood. There's an old tunnel that goes under the Via Rail tracks. It's just out in Breslau here. We're gonna go there one day. I'll show you.
Sick.
And the stones have all those historical marks in them.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were until I looked it up with that big Facebook group there, and I think it's the Mason's mark on the stones that he put in in what they were doing. I think
Dude, that's incredible.
it's
I would love to see
really,
that.
really cool structure because there's huge freight trains going around, and it's 100% masonry.
We're organizing a field trip. We're organizing a field trip.
15, 20 minutes from my house. It's just outside of Breslau.
Perfect.
It's a great spot.
Okay, we're organizing a field
go check
trip and
that
we're
out.
going
It's
to your
really
house
cool.
for lunch. Done. Awesome. So reflecting on this past year, what's your biggest accomplishment, even into 2023, because we're still fresh into 24?
My biggest accomplishment. Oh, man.
Coming to work for TMC Masonry.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry,
That's what I was
I'm just playing.
Yeah, that's one of them. I mean, change is
Just
good.
playing.
Change is good.
Yeah.
And I've always been afraid of change, but as I get a little bit older and, you start to think outside the box a little more, I'm not afraid of change anymore. Just going. Just go ahead and do it. Just, rip the
It's
Band-Aid not
not
off,
good
jump
staying
into it.
in your comfort zone.
But man, my accomplishment for me is my family. It always
There you go.
it always will be.
That's a
It just always will.
great
It'll
answer.
it'll always be my answer.
Great
It's probably
answer.
the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. It
I
really
love
is.
that.
Yeah.
I
it
love
is.
that.
It's
You're a proud father too. I get that.
uh-huh.
And just like you mentioned, like I know you and your wife have a very special bond too, and
yeah.
you guys are fucking together forever, and you guys make a good solid unit, man. And you guys will fuck up anyone who tries to fuck with you guys.
Well, no, that's why we're
Jeez.
training the kids. They're gonna get old. They gotta do all the fucking.
Those are your goddamn bulldogs, man. Crazy. So our mission with this podcast, it's to inspire the next generation to explore the world of trades. And we had a little bit of a conversation about that. But what advice would you give the younger generation to dip into this world, the blue collar community, trades? Like what's your advice?
If you're even thinking about getting into a trade, just quit thinking about it and do it. If it's plumbing, become a plumber. If it's an electrician, become an electrician. If it's masonry, become a mason. Become a laborer. Become an operator. I would maybe even want to become an operator still. I see these guys on the machines. I'm like, that looks like it's fun. I've done it a little bit here and there over the course of the time that I've been in a trade, but never like actually day in, day out. But yeah, don't be afraid to become a tradesman. It's blue collar is pride. It is. It maybe wasn't 20 years ago, but it is now. The pay is great. You have to want to work. You have to be physical. You have to not be afraid to work with your hands, not be afraid to get dirty. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of bonuses to it. I love the trades. I would actually like to do another trade.
Dude.
If I could, I would start an apprenticeship in something else. I haven't decided if I'll ever do that. I probably won't now. I'm 45.
Well, tell me what it is, and TMC will branch off, man. Okay?
No, I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I think we obviously need more people in the trades, and just do it. Just do it.
Do it like
Get
Nike.
into it. And if you start a trade and you get 6 months in and you're not feeling it, get another one. Go do them all if you have to.
Don't give up.
Honestly, I started my trade at 31. I started an apprenticeship at 31 years old after being in construction since I was 19, 18. And I thought I was too old to get into masonry, but that evaporated real quickly. I got
That's
on
awesome.
jobs. I meshed good with the guys. And you got to want it though. Just go ahead and do it. Like you can't know if you want to do it if you don't try.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to go to university, become whatever university gets you, do that too. But if you want to become a tradesman, I'd say just do it. Go ahead, do it. And if you're 18, 19 years old and you're deciding to get into a trade and you don't like the one you're getting into, you got lots of time to start a new one. And then by the time you're 30, maybe you've done them all.
Yeah.
And then you figure out which one that you like. Or you don't like any of them, but you got to try. You just got to do it.
Yeah, it's never too late either, man. Like you
Never
got
too
into
late.
the trades you were 19, 10, 11 years later, you decide to do an apprenticeship. So you're a perfect example, man. And I have so much respect for you, Sheldon, for doing that and
Thanks, man.
not giving up. And what you just shared makes me want to just, go to school and do something right now too. But no, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being here, a part of the show.
Thank you for having
Welcome
me.
to the
This is
vault.
great.
And I'd
This is
love to
awesome.
have you back again,
Hey,
man. That
let's
was a
do it.
great
It
conversation.
was fun. First one
Thanks,
ever.
brother. That was awesome.
Perfect.